Ever had one of those days where you just feel buried, like up to your eyeballs in it all?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about those moments in the kitchen, those make-or-break challenges, and how they apply to, well, just about everything.
Right.
And to help us dig into this, we're turning to the pros.
Always a good idea.
EastAfricaChef.com, they've got this whole thing about rule #13, perseverance.
Okay, perseverance. I like it already.
But they don't just leave you hanging with a buzzword, right?
Yeah,
They get into the nitty-gritty of how to actually make it work.
which is key
Mm,
because anyone can say persevere, but how?
exactly.
So walk me through this. How does EastAfricaChef.com break it down?
So one of the things they emphasize, and it seems so simple when you say it out loud, is using a timer.
A timer. Yeah, like when you're feeling super overwhelmed, just set it, even for like 15 minutes, and just focus on one thing. It's like that thing we were talking about before about how a mountain, even Kilimanjaro, is climbed one step at a time. They say it makes the whole thing feel less impossible.
It's that whole chunk it down idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think what's cool about this is that it's not just for chefs, you know?
Oh, absolutely not. This is universal.
Totally. Like imagine you're writing a huge report for work.
Been there?
Right. Instead of freaking out about the whole thing, you use the timer, focus on one section at a time. Makes it way less scary.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's about managing that feeling of being in the weeds, as they say.
Exactly. And speaking of the weeds, EastAfricaChef.com paints a pretty vivid picture of what that feels like in a real kitchen.
Oh, I bet. Orders flying in, tickets piling up.
Totally. Multiple dishes going at once, all needing something different, and that pressure cooker environment. They talk about how it's easy to just want to bury your head and just power through.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels easier to just muscle through it yourself, even if you're drowning.
Right. But that's where their advice gets really interesting, I think. They're not saying never ask for help. They say it's all about knowing when to ask.
Ooh, that's good. Because there is a difference.
Huge difference. Like, is it something small where a quick, hey, can you hand me that will
Yeah.
save you? Or are you in over your head really needing someone to throw you a lifeline?
And knowing the difference is a skill in itself, honestly.
It really is. And it's something they emphasize that it's okay to ask. Because even asking for help, that takes guts sometimes.
It does. You're putting yourself out there.
Right.
But you're also opening the door to learning and growing, right?
Okay.
Because I think a lot of times these crazy stressful moments, they're also the biggest opportunities for growth.
100%. The source even talks about how important those tough moments are for chefs, that pushing through them, even when it's hard, is what builds resilience
Mhm.
and problem-solving skills.
And those are the things, whether you're running a kitchen or running a business meeting, those are the skills that make all the difference.
Right. It's almost like, remember when we were talking about muscle memory, but for your brain?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. The more you navigate those tough situations, the better you get at handling whatever gets thrown your way.
Love that. So to wrap this up, any final words of wisdom from EastAfricaChef.com on this whole perseverance thing?
Yeah, you know what really struck me? They made it a point to say that every chef, no matter how experienced, no matter how famous, has been in those weeds.
You've all been there.
Everyone. They've all had those moments where they felt like giving up. So, if they can make it through a hot, crazy kitchen on one of those nights, we can all handle a little pressure.
It's a good reminder that you're not alone in those moments.
Huh.
We've all been there.
Exactly. You got this.
So next time you're feeling the heat, remember rule #13. Persevere, ask for help when you need it, and know that those tough spots, they're not setbacks, they're opportunities.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, here's something to chew on. What's one small challenge you're facing right now, right this minute, where you can put a little rule #13 into action? We'll be back next time with another deep dive.